crowded studios. There's nowhere I would rather be now than crowded studios. It's been a long time. Barney, how you doing, sir?
Good, Mark.
We're live at Carlton Studios. We've got the legendary.
We're live.
Live? Well, it's probably not live with the news watch it. How you doing, man?
Good.
It's been a strange old year. How's Carlton surviving in it?
Well, it's a slow, lingering death, Mark. It's very, very difficult. I mean, our clientele base is whittled away to next to nothing. So
We're talking about that, so it's a strange scenario whereby you're allowed to be open, but because of all the red tape and rules and regulations elsewhere, there's situations where people can't travel into Glasgow. So if you've got a band member who's not from Glasgow, they can't practice.
Yep.
You've got the issue with people who are maybe fearful. Maybe if you've got 5 members in a band, then maybe one of them either is fearful or is maybe shielding or is maybe just lazy and using it as an excuse.
yeah, get all that. And a lot of people are kind of reticent. And, you know, with the kind of clients that we have here, a lot of them maybe playing covers bands and wedding bands and stuff. And they're fearful, you know, with the whole pandemic.
And this is as well, I suppose, that nobody's got anything to play for as such, because
No gigs.
there's no gigs.
No.
Whether you're in a wedding band or whether you're in an up-and-coming indie band,
Yeah.
there's no gigs to play for. And, you know, most bands don't make any money off, they do it for the love, but the gigs pay for the rehearsals and vice versa.
I know, and I found out myself, Mark, you know, we playing in bands and stuff that, you know, even bringing yourself around to make a steady routine of rehearsal, etc., etc. With the whole thing, you get weighed down, you know, you don't bother, and stuff like that, and you get, like you said, you get lazy, and because there's no gigs, there's kind of, you're lacking a wee bit of motivation.
It's hard enough to get 5 members in a band to rehearse once a week.
I know, that's the thing. I mean, people think, oh, they're just going to... But it's a big logistics exercise, actually, getting 5 people in the one place at the same time.
Yeah,
you know, so...
So it's basically a case of, it's almost reminiscent of back in March when the pubs were told they were allowed to stay open, but the advice from everyone was stay at home. So effectively, you could be open as a bar, but everyone had been told don't leave the house, so the bars were losing money.
Yeah.
So you're in a situation just now where you've got to at least try and stay open, but there's just not enough bands coming through the door.
No, that's it.
So how much help have you had from the government?
Well, initially we got a couple of grants, one for the studio and one for the cafe, but that's all been eaten up with rent, with non-domestic rates, and with general expenses. You know, your electricity bills still have to be paid, your water rates are to be paid, everything was still motoring along, you get no leeway there.
You have been trying to see if you could get help with the rates?
Aye, but we get... We appealed against their decision to charge us rates, but our appeal was turned down. So...
Are you appealing your appeal? Is that an option?
It's not really. I mean, we've had our MSP, who happens to be Nicola Sturgeon, their office involved in that, but they... Nothing.
How long's Carlton Studios been around? It's been around for as long as I can remember.
30 years in November past.
30 years, man.
I know, it's been a while, Crocodile. Aye.
How did it all start?
Well, we started, there was 3 of us involved, Mick Price, Jake McKechan and myself. Those two boys played with James King and the Lone Wolves away back then, and Mick left after 10 years and became a social worker. But he was a human dynamo and getting things done. He was brilliant. And we were a cooperative to begin with, the 3 years, but no longer, I'm afraid. But just two of us now.
And it's been going, because I think I remember coming here, must have been over 10 years ago as well. It's always just been an important part of the music scene, the community. It's not just the rehearsal rooms as well, you've got the cafe there as well, and I'm sure that's affected, because I'm sure you normally, in a non-pandemic times, you'd have a lot of passing traffic just going to the cafe.
Aye.
The cafe been suffering as a result?
It has, aye. It's pretty bad as well. I mean, a lot of the offices and such like around about here, Princess Trust, the hub along there, where there's a lot of folk coming and going, they're all locked down. A lot of the lawyers' offices, they're all furloughed. So we get a bit of footfall from the courts, and that's about it really. We're not allowed any sit-ins because it's takeaway only, so it's tough. It's tough at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's not really much businesses happening. I mean, the whole city, I'm just going through Glasgow on the way over here, it's just snow. There's more snow than there is people.
I know.
There's nothing really happening out there. And it's, what about the gig side of things as well? Because although this is rehearsal rooms, there's been some amazing nights. I've got some fond memories of when we played in here for like after party and stuff like that. Some brilliant nights like that. I know that you did the Psych Fest, is it as well?
We did Scottish Beatbox Championships. We've done Psych Fest. Done stuff over the years, Mark. A lot of kind of intimate gigs. I mean, mainly in room 3 there.
Yeah.
People crammed in. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be having anybody crammed in here now.
But social distancing.
No.
But it makes for some really good stuff. I remember the Alabama 3 one. I think you had room 2 over there. So you had maybe sort of an acoustic act in there. And it would go switch to up in there.
Down the stairs with the DJs.
Down the stairs, DJ.
Up the stairs at the back there was the green room.
Oh, amazing.
With great nights and a lot of great folk, and generally speaking, very, very little trouble of any kind. Yeah. Just good fun. Yeah. With a lot of good folk, you know. We've done a lot of stuff with Mojo and Paddy Hill, and we're big supporters of Mojo, absolutely. As you are yourself.
Absolutely, shouts to Kathy.
Aye, big shouts. And so they had their offices in here as well, Mark, at one time.
That's right, I remember.
We use that now as a tuition room.
Do you know, I thought it was still here, but I interviewed Kathy for the podcast about a year ago. I came here to interview her.
Aye.
It's, well, that's actually a good point. Normally when you call that radio, we like to have the name drop, so it's like a graphic should appear on the screen there.
The name drop.
Who have you had any famous names coming through here?
Well, Fratellis, Silencers, they done a couple of albums in here. Slam at one time, wow. And Soma Records. A wee back, it's about 25 years ago. That's shows how old they are. They used to come here and record DJ stuff and what have you, and Chill FM, all these kind of bands. Mary Kiani, Kenny Hislop, ex-Simple Minds and Slick. He taught drums for about 20 years here. A lot of folk.
And also we mentioned Alabama 3 there as well, and one of my favourite things about the Mojo after party is when Alabama 3 come to Glasgow, they have a Mojo after party. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's at the Sound House. I remember it was at River as well. It's been a few different places.
Yeah.
But my favourite moment's always when the Carrollton Jug Band, that's your band, and then you just got...
And Rob and Nick and The Alabama 3 just up on stage.
It's amazing because this is at I don't know, maybe 2 in the morning, and the room's full of Alabama 3 fans, and then they just appear on stage. The first time I seen it, I was like, wow, this is just amazing.
I know, but they're a great bunch.
Oh,
they're fantastic.
And it's always a good night with them as well. And so, are you missing, just from a band point of view, are you missing playing live yourself?
Aye.
You're busy. You're playing 1 or 2 gigs a week usually.
I know. Usually, I mean, it's old guys kind of music, country, and all that. But miss it's no really the word, Mark. You'll know that yourself. It's hard to describe how much it affects you. You're like half brain dead.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. And that's been half brain dead to begin with.
It's missed, and hopefully there will be some live music of some sort. I don't know what. I think it's going to be, if it does happen, it's going to be like 25% capacity in the venues or something. Whether that means that the ticket prices need to go up. But I say right now, man, I'd happily pay way over the score to see a bit of live music.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like, a band you'd maybe normally pay a £5 or a £10 to see, you'd happily pay 30 or 40 quid to see right now.
I know, I mean, without being respectful about live streaming and the likes, it's no really live gigging. No. And the interaction with folk. Yeah. And the banter, everything. There's obviously different levels of live streaming, and there's lots of people that are doing their best to make it as interactive as possible. And so there's a big scale of who's doing it well. But at the end of the day, it's the whole point of a live gig is just the music's part of it, but it's also about being able to get the view that you want. You go further to the left, you go to the right, you get the view that you want. Yeah. You just bump into old friends, you meet new friends. And you're just like, it's just good to see. I mean, we usually see hundreds and hundreds of people over the period of a few months, and you're just not seeing anyone. This is my first year. I don't get much. This is quite exciting being out somewhere. I know it is. I know, and you can. I know it's like we get people coming into the cafe that we've not seen for months. Like John Kelly, for instance. I don't know if you know John Kelly. The guy that's all Mr. Happy Feet. Yeah. He's all multicoloured. Yeah. John's brilliant. Yeah. He came in and right away you see someone that you've not seen like that for months. Anybody, like yourself. So the natural thing is you start rabbiting, don't you? Yeah. You talk and talk and talk and talk. And it's an excitement seeing the folk that you've not seen for a while. But
well, the good thing is that we're not missing much. What have you been up to? Sitting in the house, eating banana bread.
Banana bread. I know.
What's
banana kush bread.
What's the you say? Yeah, okay. Let's just to wrap things up quickly. How's your staff getting on? How's the Carolyn staff getting on?
Well, they've been working up until really. The last 2 weeks, with these lockdown measures. And
Jenny's been doing great. She's been making like microphone.
I know, she's brilliant.
She's been right on top of it.
She is brilliant, that girl.
It's a safe environment for everyone.
I know.
Shout out to Jenny. And now, obviously, this is 30 years part of Glasgow history. Carrollton must survive, and I'm sure everybody watching this is going to do their best to make sure Carrollton does survive. And we're going to do that. How can people best help Carrollton survive this tough year?
Basically, 3 words: give your money.
Give your money.
Well, we have got a crowdfunder, Mark, and and various kind of rewards going on there: T-shirts, tiles, recording time.
There's a great recording studio in there as well. Maybe later on.
Drum lessons. We've got raffles and all these kind of things going on over the space of the next 2 months, and that's really to keep ourselves in the game.
The link should be appearing on the screen just now. Give your money and support Carrollton Studios crowdfunder. Nice one, Barney, man, all the best.
I think, could I just say thanks to you, Mark, for coming and interviewing me?
No, it's an absolute pleasure.
Aye.
We'll get a proper sit down when it's warmer.
Aye. When will that be?